Guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to learn about box plot in STATA. So we are going to learn how you can generate box plots using in STATA. So the first thing that we are supposed to do is to have our data, and then the first step is to clean our data. I've always said in the previous tutorial that you need to clean your data so that you have outputs which are correct and which are informative. Yes, you can have output even if your data is somehow not clean, but they are not correct. So let's check on that. The earlier steps that we are supposed to carry on in our data before we proceed to any analysis, computation, or anything that you are going to do with the software. So let's do the box plot. Let's go to graphics and then we go to box plot. So we are going to main window, and then I'm going to select edge, which is already selected because I was using this STATA to analyze data. And then we are going to do in terms of categories of gender. Then we're going to click submit. I've always said that if you click OK, this window is going to disappear. And then if I want to do any editing, I'll go back to the toolbar. So the first thing that you're supposed to understand is the importance of box plot. Box plot helps you to explore the distribution of your variables. Secondly, the box plot helps you to identify outliers. Thirdly, the box plot helps you to compare groups. So like in case of our box plot, we have explored the distribution of age, and then we are comparing in terms of female and male, and also we are going to look if we have outliers. So comparing female and male, we have that more ages are lying below. For the male, more ages are lying below the middle line compared to those which are above the middle line. Then for female, we have almost equal distribution in terms of those ages which are lying lower below the middle line, and then those which are lying above the middle line. So we can go back to the editing window, and then we can add another group where we are going to have these counties. We're going to submit. So you're going to have a lot of box plots for different counties. So we had a lot of counties. So let's go back. Instead of having counties, let's have training attended. And then we submit. So you have for female and male. Then you have no or. Yes, for female, there are no in terms of those who say no receiving, not receiving trainings, and then we have in this other, yes, we have the two. Then when we look at the male, you are able to see that the edges below the middle line were more compared to those which were above the middle line. Let's go back to that. Then instead of having training attended, let's have education. Then we submit. So this is going to be happening. So already you can see in the primary, we have like this. We even don't have distribution because we don't even have the midline and the other. When we come to secondary, you can see that the ages which are above the middle line were many for male compared to female. Let's go back. Then we bring back the age. Then here we have it in terms of education. Variables age is not, sorry, we group this in terms of gender. The main we have age. So instead of having age here, I want to have income after. So I'm going to remove age. Then I'm going to replace it with income after. And then in terms of categories, I'm going to remove the second category, and then I'm going to have only first category. And then you can see also in terms of educational level categories, the secondary ones, they were those which had more mean, which were below the median or middle line compared to other levels of education. So thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more.